Good morning, everybody. My name is Emer Sheerin. I am the Mature Student Officer and I am based in the Maynooth University Access Office. You're all very welcome to this session in Launchpad, which is dedicated to students who've come through the Mature Student Entry route and the QQI Further Education route. As you know, Launchpad is being delivered completely online this year. The way that this Teams live event works is that you can, well, I don't think you can see me now that I'm sharing my presentation, but you can hear me and see the presentation, hopefully, and you can hear us. And with me are the ambassadors that I'm going to introduce you to in a minute, but we cannot see you. We hope you're out there. What you can do to partake in this session is to communicate via text on the Q&A chat area of this. So you should be able to see that on the right hand side of your screens. So what you can do is ask questions throughout the presentation, and the ambassadors are here to answer via text on that chat area as well. So the ambassadors that are with me today, and I thank them for their help, is Ali, Lorraine, Caroline and Shanice. So hopefully they'll all have been able to join. I know for definite Ali and Caroline are here, but they've all contributed hugely to this session and to Launchpad generally. So I thank you all. Okay, so what I wanted to cover in over the next 20 or 25 minutes is just information for you on the supports that we offer here in the Maynooth Access programme and some more general supports in the university, and what you can expect over the next few weeks as you begin college. And I suppose the first thing we want to say is that we know people are very anxious. Starting off college can be difficult, can be daunting, but in these strange times that we're all living in, all of us being that bit removed from the physical campus makes things a little bit difficult. And I know people feel that they might feel a little bit isolated. So I suppose Launchpad is really here to try and address that and hopefully allay some of answer some of your concerns and allay some of your fears as you start. But it is a very exciting time, and we hope that you will enjoy the Launchpad session. So the first thing I want to say to you is that the Maynooth Access programme is here to support you throughout the year and throughout all of your years as a student of the university. We do this through our shared advisory service, and this service can be the first port of call for any issues that come up for you. And these could be academic issues, something more personal or social in nature, or financial issues. And the way to find out where we are and how to access us is the best place to see that is through the Maynooth University Access Office web pages. So it's just maynoothuniversity.ie/access-office. So you find all of our contact details and all of the supports that we have on offer there. You might have some just quick questions or some questions that are quite straightforward, and you can ask us these at any stage throughout the year by phoning us on 01708 6025, or you can email us at access.office@mu.ie. Or we also have what we call an ask function on our website. So if you have a very quick question and want an immediate answer at any time during the day, you can just go on to our web page, and the ask function will just pop up on the page, and you can just type in an answer. You don't have to identify yourself or anything, and there's always somebody at the other end of that to answer that question very, very quickly for you. If you feel you need a more in-depth meeting with one of the advisory team, then you can absolutely make an appointment. And this will be most likely a virtual meeting, and it will be conducted through Microsoft Teams. So you will be learning about the technology that you'll be using over the next weeks and months throughout first year. But that in-depth meeting with the advisor will be through Microsoft Teams. So again, you can phone or email to set up one of those appointments. If you need specifically to talk to me as the Mature Student Officer, these are my contact details. So it's emer.sheerin@mu.ie, and my phone number is 01708 3307. And I think all of this presentation will be available to you at any stage, so you can have this information. So this presentation will be put up on the Access Office website. Okay, that's just a little visual there of our actual building. I think many of you would have been involved in Welcome Week last week, so you would have seen the Map Lodge. So this is where the Maynooth Access Programme staff are housed in the university. So if you do have to come in, that's where you'll be coming. Okay, so I thought I think it's important to know how valued students coming in through the mature and further education routes are to higher education. And I think as you begin college, it is important to know that. First of all, the lecturers and tutors in the university, they continually report to us how very committed and motivated mature students and further education students are in relation to their studies. And we know mature students people have been working or raising families or running a business or traveling or doing some volunteer work or studying. No matter what it is, it means that you've built up very valuable life experiences, and you bring them into the classroom. And again, the lecturers and tutors continually say to us that these experiences really enrich the lectures and the seminars for everybody involved in them. For people coming through the further education route, you have a unique experience of subjects. So a lot of you will have done, will have been exposed to subjects that are not actually taught in school. So you have that advantage of going through the further education sector before starting university. And also people coming through the further education route have also been exposed to the assessment and teaching methods that are used at third level. So it's quite different from school. So it gives you very good preparation as you begin your studies at third level. And because of all this, because of the experience, because of the journey through further education, mature students and students coming through the QQI route tend to do very well here. And we've done some pieces of research and found out that people do as well, or if not better than people coming straight out of school. So you can expect to succeed here. The university, it's important for you to know, is very much committed to building a strong, mature and QQI student community, and as a result of that, it does provide designated supports, some of which I've mentioned and I will be talking about in a while. So I will be going through some of the supports in a little bit more detail, but I suppose the one thing I want you to take out of this is that we will be sending each one of you an email outlining those supports and how to access them. So it just means you don't have to take in everything that I'm saying today. So just know that you will get an email sent to you from the Maynooth Access Programme, which will detail the supports for you. So just some of the sources of support. So I've mentioned the shared advisory within MAP, but we also have what we call the MAC Academic Advisor support programme. So in every academic department, one of the lecturers is giving the additional role or responsibility of being the MAP academic advisor. So what this means is that they're a link between their department, our office, and you as a student studying with that department. So how it works is if you come to one of the MAP staff and say that you're having trouble with one of your subjects, say economics, for instance, and we don't know the first thing about that subject, we can put you directly in touch with the academic advisor in the economics department. So we also provide support for students with a disability, and the Disability Office works to remove barriers to learning. So the Disability Office, my colleague Gerard Gallagher is having a session. I think it's running now at 11 or later on at 1 o'clock as well. So if anybody thinks they are going to need the support of the Disability Office, you should tune into that later on. And the important thing is to make contact with and register with the Disability Office, and they can provide the supports that you need throughout your studies at the university. And then just some of the more general supports. So we have the Academic Advisory Office and the Programme Advisory Office. The Academic Advisory Office can be another first point of contact for students, just looking for advice on the general experience of university life. The Programme Advisory Office, if you're especially in these first few weeks when you're choosing your modules, choosing your subjects, choosing your modules, if you've any kind of program, particularly program related questions, then you should avail of the services of the Programme Advisory Office. The library is a fabulous library, modern state-of-the-art facility in the university, and you will have seen it on your tours during Welcome Week last week. So they run a suite of skills tutorials, some of them around the library itself, how to use the library, how to access the material, how to access the laptops that they have there, and also other things as well, like how, using Moodle and writing essays and that kind of thing. So make sure that you tune into those tutorial sessions as they come up, and the schedule for those will be up on the library's website, on the MU University website. So we also have two very strong academic skills tutorial support centres. So we have the Mathematics Support Centre and the Academic Writing Support Centre. And the way they work is that if you're having trouble with your maths or your writing and you just need help, you can call in. Again, this will be most likely virtual support this year. But again, the information on these can be found at on the university website, so you can just look those two support centres up. We also have the Technology Transition Programme. As a student in 2020, as we all know, technology is going to be absolutely key to your success at university this year. So to help you prepare and help you get to grips with all of the technology, the Maynooth Access Programme has been running is providing the Technology Transition Programme. Some of you might have been tuning into some of these sessions already because they started a couple of weeks ago, and they are set to continue over the next few weeks. Each of the sessions runs for about 45 minutes on Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So if you go onto the Maynooth Access Office website and put in Technology Transition Programme, you will see the schedule of sessions that are coming up over the next few weeks. And we really, really do encourage people to avail of this because, as I say, technology is going to be key to your success over the next few months. One of the biggest issues for a lot of students can be funding and financial issues. So one of the things that we are always concerned about in the university is that we hate to see people struggling financially. We hate to see people not being able to continue with their studies purely for financial reasons. So there are financial supports in the university. Key to these supports is the service known as the Student Budgeting Advice Service. So if you're worried about the costs of college, and you will be encountering different costs here in the university as you progress through your studies. So if you find you're just struggling to manage your money, or if you need advice about SUSI, about the grants, or about the Back to Education allowance, and you want to talk about various funding options, you can avail of the Student Budgeting Advice Service, and we really, really encourage people to do that. And again, an email will be going out about the Budgeting Advice Service, how to access it, and how to get support generally through this service. So one source of funding support that I want you to know about is the Student Assistance Fund. This is available for all registered students. And the way to access this fund is also through that Student Budgeting Advice Service. So how it works is that if you find you're struggling financially, you make an appointment to meet virtually with the Student Budgeting Advisor. And at the end of that meeting, the advisor and you will come to a decision that you are struggling with money, and that a certain amount will be recommended for you from the Student Assistance Fund. And this can be anything from as little as €150 up to about €500. So the amount recommended is very much tailored to the needs of the individual. And it also happens that sometimes somebody might only need a couple of €100 for rent or for transport or to buy a couple of books or something like that, or to do with technology, and that might be all they need. But they may find in a couple of months later that they're struggling again financially. And the thing about the Student Assistance Fund is that you can come back to the fund and be allocated more money from it. But you're always going through the Student Budgeting Advisor. Again, there will be an email going out to all of the students about the Student Assistance Fund. Okay, so just know any emails that you see about these supports, about the Student Budgeting Advice Service and Student Assistance Fund, make sure you open those emails and keep them, so that when it comes up, if you need it, you know where to access it, how to access it. So just a bit more about the Student Assistance Fund. As I say, it's for everybody. It's tailored to individual needs. You can apply for additional funding throughout the year, and it's open all year round. We don't have a closing day for this fund. We only close it when all funds have been exhausted. Another source of finance is the 1916 Bursary Fund. This is a fund particularly for students from socio-economically disadvantaged backgrounds. The amount of the fund is €5,000 a year for each year of your undergraduate programme. And the important thing to note is that the deadline for applying this year is the 30th of October. So please do keep that date in mind. And more information on the 1916 Bursary at Maynooth University can be seen on the Access Office web pages. Okay, so generally, I'm repeating myself here, but for more information on all of the supports, whether they're financial or just general supports, as well as the upcoming laptop loan scheme that people might have heard of, you can visit the Maynooth University Access Office web pages. We're updating them all the time with information on the supports. Okay. We also wanted to know that Launchpad is continuing, so we've further sessions going on throughout the first semester, and the schedule for these sessions can be seen at the same link that you used to join today's session, and the schedule will be updated all semester long, and again, information on the Access Office website on this schedule. So I just want to spend another couple of minutes talking about what to expect. I suppose the first thing we want to acknowledge is that these few weeks can be very, very daunting, and we know it's hard to find your way around physically around the campus, you know, where the lecture halls are, where your academic departments are located. Choosing subjects is quite daunting. Tackling your reading lists as you go into each new lecture, you know, the lecturer will be giving you reading lists, so just kind of tackling them is difficult, finding books, using the library, particularly daunting this year, and particularly important this year is using Moodle and Microsoft Teams, and obviously, you know, funding your way through your studies can be daunting. So really, what we're saying to people is help yourself, use the support services that are available to you. Choosing your subjects, most students in first year have some kind of subject choice to make, and our advice is that you choose carefully and quickly, and the best way to make an informed decision is to go into our course finder section of the website that you will see there, and that course finder outlines the subjects, the modules within each subject, and gives really detailed information on what each module is about. So it'll help you make a decision about what subjects to take. As you know, you have a certain date, 4 weeks after start of term, which you have to make your final choice of subjects. While we encourage people to shop around and use this facility that you can, you know, find out what kind of subjects, what subjects are like, we do say please think about not using the full 4 weeks to choose, because at that stage you're a third of the way through the first semester. So we want people need to make a choice, make a good choice, and make it as quickly as they can. But do use that facility, but try and not use the whole 4 weeks to shop around. The other thing about subject choice is your choice of subject is your own choice. Nobody can advise you on what the best combination of subjects to do. There's no easy subject. Some people might find one subject easier than another, and another person might find the complete opposite. So your final choice of subjects has to be your own choice. How the year is structured, I suppose the first thing to say about the academic year is it's very, very quick. Anybody that's come through further education will have that experience already, but it is a very, very short year, and it does fly by. The year is broken into 2 terms or 2 semesters. Each of them is about 12 or 13 weeks. I think this first semester is only 12 weeks because of COVID-19. We've started a little bit later than normal. But they last about 12 or 13 weeks, which includes a study week each semester. So these study weeks in the first semester usually coincide with the school's midterm, so around end of October, and then the other one would be kind of maybe around Easter in the second semester. So your first term, as you know, lectures start on Monday, the 28th, so that'll bring us up to Christmas. After Christmas, you have the exam period, which will be in and around the 5th of January. And then you have an actual inter-semester break, a complete break, not a study week, so a break. And then the second semester will start usually at the end of January or the beginning of February. Generally, for full-time students, just looking at the contact hours, you would have anything from 12 up to about 26 class contact time. Now this year that would be either in class or off campus online, but the hours will amount to about 12 to 26 hours of actual class contact time. And then people are really encouraged to do up to about 28 hours independent study. So that's your own time spent studying or writing essays or preparing for assignments or whatever it is, or using the Math Support Centre, the Writing Centre, or whatever. And generally now that independent study hours will change. Sometimes it'll be more as you're struggling to get an assignment in on time, and other times it will be less. But generally we tell people to kind of look at your week as a 40-hour week typically. The way the assessment works in Maynooth is that the departments continually assess students throughout the year by giving you assignments, so essays or in-class exams, and you get plenty of notice about this. The good thing for students to know is that every assessment helps build marks towards your end of year grade. So you're not going into a situation where everything is assessed at the end of the year on one 3-hour exam. Okay, so each semester stands separately. So you will have your lectures, you will have your tutorials, you will have your ongoing continuous assessment, and you will have built up a combination of marks. So when you do your shorter exams, they can be 90-minute exams or 2-hour exams in January, then you're already going into those exams with a lot of your marks built up. And your final grade for each year and for each semester will be a combination of the marks gained from the continuous assessment work and your end of semester examination. So we just have some study tips for you. One of the first things is that you should get into a routine as early as possible and stick to it. So really what we're saying there is know your timetable, have a place to study, know when you're off campus, on campus, so that you get into the study mode as early as possible. And just remember, it's a short year, so your study timetable, your actual lecture timetable, your tutorial timetable, you're talking about 2 sets of about 13 weeks. So it is short. So the earliest you can get into a routine, the better. It's very important to familiarise yourself with Moodle, which is the online learning environment used in the university, and Office 365 and Microsoft Teams, all of which you'll have access to as you are a registered student of the university. And help yourself by attending that technology transition training programme that I mentioned earlier. It's very important to have identified both a home and campus study space and have these organised from beginning, so that you know the room in your house or the library or wherever it is on campus is the place that you go for study, and you associate that with your study time. It's very, very important as well, and do this from day one, is to attend all of your lectures and your tutorials. There will be times when you just cannot make it for some reason, but try and keep these down to a minimum, and always tell people if your lecturers, if you cannot attend or you've missed something because you're ill or somebody in your house is ill, or you have something unforeseen has come up. But try as much as you can to attend as much online or on campus lectures and tutorials throughout the year. And very important to submit your assignments at least by the deadline, but if you can do it before each deadline. And you will be getting feedback back all the time from your assignments, so important to learn from that. It's also very important to organise your time and find a balance between study and other commitments. There will be other things going on in your life. We all know that. Our lecturers know that as well. And it is important to find a balance. Okay. And again, think of the year as being very, very short. So that balancing will only have to be done for short periods in the year. I can't stress enough how important it is to access all of those supports in the university as you need them. They're there for you. You come to us when you need them. What we will do is email you and give you the information about the supports that there are, but it'll be up to you then to come and ask. Budgeting, finance, funding is really important. It's important to prepare a budget and think about how you're going to manage the costs of university. And if you have difficulties, talk to our student budgeting advisor. Also, clubs and societies. We've clubs and societies dedicated to every interest and hobby and subject area, sport in the university. And again, during Welcome Week, you would have heard about these. But it's a great way to see another side of college life and to get to know other people. And finally, there we just say college can be daunting, and we know that. So one of the things that we recommend is for people to just worry about the next hurdle only. In your first few weeks, you'll be worrying about the registration process, the getting to grips with Moodle and your Office 365, and just finding where your departments are and that kind of thing, and choosing your subjects. Then in another few weeks, you might have your first assignment due in. So just worry about the next hurdle only. Don't think about the whole year ahead. Just tackle each thing as it comes up. So this is my final slide, and this is going back to the beginning. So again, know that there's support here throughout the year, and I've already gone through how to access that support, and this will all be sent out to you by email as well. Okay, so I hope everybody has gotten a lot of information there. So I'm going to, I don't know if questions have been coming in at all. So you're on mute there, Ali.
Okay. Is it still on me there or on me?
I can just hear you.
Okay. So we did have a couple of questions come in relation to um, support for disability.
Yeah.
So if anybody has a certain disability, where would they go to get the
Yeah.
support with that? We had questions in relation to that. If you want to take that one first.
Yeah, great. So that's great. So first of all, I'd say at 1 o'clock, there's a disability office session running now at the same time as this, but it's repeated at 1 o'clock. Otherwise, you can go into the Access Office website and just literally put in disability there, and you will find all the services for disability. And there are there'll be detailed information on how you go about registering with the disability office there. But do go to that session that's repeated at 1 o'clock.
We have also had questions coming in where people want to know. Well, we've got Martin here who is asking about his lectures. So, well, obviously there's a lot of change going on, and people are kind of unsure whether they're going to be on campus or off campus. But usually, the for your individual programs, you'll receive an email of whether you would be on campus for your individual course or not, or what way things will be going. But
yeah,
that has kind of come in as well, just a little bit of uncertainty as to whether lectures are going to be on campus or more so online, for the coming term.
Yeah, and that's going to be the big question this year. I just this morning I was on a very good part of Maynooth. If you put in Maynooth University COVID information, that's simple. There's a huge amount of detail there on the different subject areas, the online, offline, how you go about finding whether you're on campus or online. So the COVID part of the Maynooth University has a lot of detailed information. The other thing that I didn't mention, actually, now that I think of it in my presentation there, was there's a new student help desk set up in student services, and it's the email there is studenthelp, all one word, at mu.ie. So maybe one of you just put that in up under the chat there. So it's student help, all one word, at mu.ie, and that will give you all the information. You'll be able to make contact with somebody who can help you there as well. Okay, so if you're okay, then Ali, I'll hand over to you to talk about to start the ambassador's presentation. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine. I just want to say in advance, my screen and my web is a little slower this morning, so I am seeing questions coming up here, and we will be able to get to them between myself, Caroline, and Lorraine. Just to let you know, we can hear you, we can see your stuff coming in.
Great.
Technology has been fun this morning.
Okay, Ali, that's up there for you to go.
Mine is having hiccups here. Apologies about that. It's not coming up on my screen.
That doesn't seem to be showing yet, Emer.
Okay, sorry.
Well, we have movement.
Sorry. Still not showing, no?
No.
No, not yet. I suppose I can go ahead and start to talk.
Yeah.
Okay. Just while we're waiting for things to come. So I suppose the big thing is welcome everybody who is online on the stream. I know we can't see you, but oh, we're starting to come up here. But we hope you're really excited to come to Maynooth this year. It's definitely going to be a different year for everybody going forward. But I have to say the campus and the university are so supportive and so welcoming, and it's nice to have something to look forward to when everything has been so very up in the air for everybody. So I have just finished my degree. I'm social science, so I did a double major in social policy and philosophy. Um, so I'm looking forward to graduating now next month. So that should be fun. Um, so I have come into college as a mature student, and as a single parent as well. So I have two boys at home, one in primary, one in secondary school. Um, so I definitely was kind of wondering when I decided to go back to college, whether I'd be able to get the balance right. So I suppose sometimes it can be daunting when you're trying to juggle routines, especially as a mature student. But at the same time, it can be done. And what I would say is to definitely reach out is definitely the big thing I would do is reach out because the supports are there to help you on your journey. Lecturers are amazing. All the team at MAP are amazing. There is so many people who have helped me along the way, which has been amazing as well. And I've had so many friendships along the way as well. In relation to work and assignments, I suppose the best advice that I can give you is read, and read some more, and don't be afraid to ask questions. I think that's a big thing. And don't be afraid to put yourself out there. And if you don't understand something, just ask. It's in the same relation to supports that are there. If you don't have the answers, don't be afraid to ask. Because there's so many people on campus who want to see you get through your degrees and help you on your stepping stones forward. So I suppose the big thing would be just enjoy yourself with it. You know, embrace your studies. It's really exciting, and there's definitely going to be challenges along the way, but it can be done. It can be done. So I suppose that's I can wish you all the best of luck, and just don't be a stranger to the MAP office as well. Everybody is here to help you get the balance between whether it's work or whether it's family and your studies. It definitely can be done, and there's people to help you all along the way. I'm going to hand you over to Lorraine next.
Yeah. Hi everybody. I hope everyone can hear me. Is that a thumbs up from Ali maybe? If my sound is on okay. Thumbs up.
Can hear you.
Yeah, great. I stole this laptop halfway through Emer's presentation, so I missed a little bit. I guess I'll give you a bit of my story, I think, because I was at Launchpad last year like yourself, and I think hearing similar stories definitely helped me to feel a bit less imposter syndrome maybe. I went to college straight from the Leaving Cert when I was 17 and stayed for about 4 minutes, felt completely overwhelmed. I didn't know my left arm from my right arm, and swore off it, thought I will never go back, this is not for me. Came back then last year after a few years of working. I did a few short-term courses, Cabra Community College, and then online course as well. And that gave me like the little bit of confidence to think, right, I might be able to go do this and just keep the head down, get through it. I won't enjoy it, but like I might survive maybe. And then after a few weeks, I just felt a world of difference. I think in particular the Launchpad events, but also engaging with Launchpad supports, made me feel like college wasn't something that was for somebody else. It was something that I could like not only just get through with the head down, but like enjoy and do really well in. My one tip, I suppose, would be like that to use the supports. I think like the first time I went to college when I was 17, I always thought they were for other people, or I didn't know it was there. And I kind of just was maybe in my nature to bury the head a bit and try to get through it. Whereas what I'd say now is the first thing I did in September was go to an academic advisor. I did English and sociology, and I found them so helpful, and just that bit of reassurance was all I needed to kind of feel like I was capable of really engaging. I'd also say put your name down for things, go for things. It never feels like a right time, or you feel maybe like you're not confident enough yet, and maybe you'll be confident enough the next year. I put my name down for a class rep in sociology because it was the biggest class, and I thought I definitely won't get this. Well, nobody else ran for it, and I ended up having to do it. I was sick, thinking I'd have to go and introduce myself in front of people, talk to people, truly like pit of the stomach, nerves. And by the end of it, it was like I'd always been doing it. So I would say, if that's in your nature as well, that you feel like you're not somebody who does that, you don't want to put yourself out there. If you have the time, give it a chance once. If it's not for you, fine, you'll always have it on your CV. But if you're like me, it would, I think, really help your confidence and help overall with your time at Maynooth. Yeah, so I'm doing single major English, and I did English, sociology and anthropology in first year. So if there's any more questions about those in particular as a mature student or with the math supports, feel free to pop them in the chat. But I think that will be everything for me. Caroline, if you want to carry on.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Lorraine. I don't know if my slide is going to appear there, but not to worry. I, like Ali, came to Maynooth as a mature student, on the rather mature end of the spectrum. And I have 4 children, aged now 17 to 11. But this is my 4th year now in study. I returned to a VTOS course more by accident than design. I just bumped into a friend one evening who had started a VTOS course the previous year, and she was waiting on her daughter's leaving cert results to see. Her daughter wanted to do business in Maynooth, but her first choice was Limerick. Don't know why she'd go to Limerick. So she was waiting on the daughter's results to see whether or not she herself could go on to Maynooth, having done a VTOS course in business. And she really put my mind thinking that night. 10 days later, at the beginning of September, I started a VTOS course, to my own shock, never mind everybody else around. But during that course, the lecturers suggested that maybe I should apply through the CAO to Maynooth and see if I could go on. And it was a dream. It was something that I had always hoped to do, but didn't really know if I'd be able to. But walking into Maynooth, the Launchpad event, the MAP office supports, the constant availability of people to explain and to help you and to encourage, meant that I settled in very, very quickly. And I have to say, it is the best decision that I have possibly ever made. I took social science. I took a double major, sociology and social policy, and just graduated this summer. The lockdown really did lock me down. It was very, very difficult. And I did need to extend my submission dates to the August submissions. So I am yet to actually officially graduate, but hopefully October. I have got my results and everything. So, you know, I've done it. And I'm now moving on to a HDIP in further education, which I will start next Tuesday. So if you're around campus and you see me, say hi. It's very difficult to start something like this when you feel like an outsider. You feel different to the normal group of students who are walking in the college gates. You know, these 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, and it does feel extremely daunting. But it's the most wonderful few years that you will spend. And the best piece of advice that I got was from Rose Ryan, who is the director of Access, and she said on my first day on campus, she said, when you walk in the gates, leave the rest of your life outside. When you walk in there, be a student, give yourself that time, enjoy it, experience it all, do as much as you possibly can do. Drink far too many coffees with new friends, and just allow yourself to immerse yourself completely in the student experience, because you might be 30 years older than the majority of the students, but you can be just like them. And in fact, as Emer said earlier, a lot of the mature students, we're there for a real reason. We've made a conscious decision to go back and change certain aspects of our lives, manage children, manage aging parents, perhaps, manage disabilities, all sorts of aspects of life that can be extra challenging. And you're not there because it's just the next step in what life has put up for you. You're there because you've really wanted to be there. So give yourself this time to focus, to concentrate, and you'll be coming out top of the class. It's just fantastic. Talk about an ego boost. So the highlights, just to tell you a couple of highlights, is that number one is the friendships. It's just so good to feel like a member of a community. Number two, maybe it should be number one, is the support of the lecturers. They really, really appreciate having more mature students in their lectures, because we take part so much. As you can see, the three of us have just yapped no problem for the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and the lecturers really do appreciate that, so get involved. I also managed to take part in the summer program of undergraduate research, which was an incredible experience, a 6-week research program at the end of second year with the sociology department, and that was an incredible opportunity. But the MAP office, this gives you chances to get involved in events like this, also events on campus, tours, visitors to the university. There's so many different things that you can be involved in. And do look up the Mature Society, because we gather for coffee and yaps. We might have to do a bit of it online this year, but it's still great to be able to hook up with other people and ask questions, get some help to, navigate this whole new world. But number one is just welcome to Maynooth, and I hope you enjoy it just as much as I have, because I intend to stay as long as they keep me. Thanks a million. Bye-bye.
That's great, Caroline, and Ali and Lorraine. Thanks so much. So sorry, I'm not sure, is Shanice with us? No, okay. So yeah, I think Ali, sorry, Ali, your mic is very low. It's very hard to hear you. So maybe I just thought maybe Caroline would just talk about the session that's coming up at 12 o'clock and encourage people to join into that. Are you part of that, Caroline?
Yes. Yeah, we have just a quick chat about it's presented by MAP ambassadors like ourselves, just to give you some information more specific for the mature students. That's the one you're referring to, Emer?
Yeah.
It's specifically for mature students, and it will give you general information that would be particularly relevant to anybody coming in from that path.
Great.
So that's at noon.
Yeah. Okay. I'm able to see the questions now. I do understand a lot of the questions are, as we would have expected, about your online on-campus division in lectures and that kind of thing. And I know it's still up in the air. So I just want to reiterate the two places that I've referred you to find out more about that. One is that student health emails. So studenthelp@mu.ie. I think one of us put that email address up there. So studenthelp@mu.ie. They won't be working again until Monday, so any email them now today at the end of today and ask any questions you have there. And the other place to find out as much as you can is the Maynooth University COVID page. So if you literally just put into Google Maynooth University COVID, it is giving a lot of information. There's kind of frequently asked questions, and there's general information under headings like, what do I do if I have back-to-back online and live campus lectures? So, that was a specific question, and I did see that there this morning. So most of those questions, I hope, are addressed in that COVID. If they're not, get onto that student help at mu.ie and ask the questions there. Allowance is going to be given for these first few weeks. People know that the lecturers and the tutors know that people are going to struggle with this. They're struggling with it, I'd imagine. They've had to come up with a whole new way of teaching their students. And really, when we all shut down at the end of March last year, term was practically finished. There was only a few short weeks left. So the lecturers and tutors didn't have time to set up all of these, during the summer, and there would have been, we didn't know what was happening as each week went through lockdown, and then we were opened up, and then parts of places closed down again. So it's all a kind of influx situation at the moment. So the lecturers and tutors are going to be making allowances for people. So the main thing is to keep in contact. And if you can't, all of the lecturers have contact details. All of the departments generally have contact details. And then again, also the Maynooth Access Programme. So if you're concerned about anything, just keep asking, asking questions. I think we're about 10 to 12 now, and I think it might be nice if we finished up this session. This session is being repeated at 1 o'clock. But I'd give people a chance for a few minutes to go and make a cup of coffee. And whatever you do, if you're bringing the coffee back to the computer, don't pour it over it. I did that early on in lockdown, and over my legs as well. So it was pretty bad. So be careful. I'll give you time to before the next session starts. And Alison, Lorraine, Caroline, and Shanice, if you're there, we'll meet back at about just coming up for 1 o'clock. Okay, and I think the questions will continue to be answered. Is that right, Ali? Yes, we'll continue to answer these questions. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
So I'll press leave here, I presume. Yeah.